he came back talking about this guy named Tom Cruise.
Oh.
In my mind, I added a Z, and I thought he was Latin. I thought he was a Mexican.
Actually known
As God is my witness. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means.
You need a witness for that? For what?
As God, it's just a figure of speech. Charlie Sheen.
What a career.
Yeah.
Huge movies. You were talking about his run of movies, like from 21 years old. I think he popped into Ferris Bueller with a cameo, just a good looking burnout dude.
Did one scene and stood out.
Yeah. I think he stayed up all night for that to show that he was a guy that stayed up all night.
Yes. And when you're 19, you stay up all night. It's not a massive
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
It's not like, he's wasted.
Yeah.
You know?
But I guess he, I think with Charlie, when he went off the rails a little bit, was too much fame, too good looking, and too rich. It's just, you get everything you want. It's a very odd, I don't know the feeling. It's very odd. Being medium rich, medium looking, and mediumness across the board. It's different. So
yeah,
he just has everything. All girls are falling at his feet, and he's got drugs wherever he goes, and every celebrity wants to hang out with him. So
yeah, huge movie star. By the time he's 21, he's doing Wall Street. It really is kind of unparalleled how many movies he's made
and Platoon
at such a young age.
Yeah,
Platoon, and just and then he got into all the funny movies, you know,
Hot Shots,
yeah,
Major League. There's like so many to talk about.
And then he does this massive sitcom, 2.5 Men, one of the last ones of that kind of big
audience, syndicated, fat money. And then he really, and there's no real limits. He doesn't care what we ask him. And he was pretty funny. We were light and loose with them. And we couldn't do it in person because I think all of us were sick. Remember?
Right.
Great.
I was full COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot with Charlie Sheen. I found him really charming. I know he's had a lot of rough times in his life, but the guy I met on the Zoom is a real charming, humble, nice guy.
Yeah.
And funny, too.
You decide, folks. Here
you
he
decide
is.
And give us your comments. Here it comes. Okay, what song is this, Charlie? What song? Here he comes again, looking bad, or what is that? Dolly Parton?
The body has a right to.
I don't recognize it.
Dolly
Here
Parton.
he comes again. Oh, all right. So our producer said here he comes. So I just up to my head.
Yeah, I think we're good. Awesome. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Charlie, this is a great place if you're a termite.
That's Emilio Estevez right there.
Wait a minute. Wait, can he hang out for a second? Because that was my first thing I wanted to talk about.
They're asking for you, dude.
Emilio,
could he
you
hang
won't
out
remember me.
Do you mind?
What? This was one of my things because I wanted to not bore the shit out of you. Emilio, I just want to... You're in my research. I'm not making this up. I was like... Because I was like, holy shit. I saw the doc. I saw you guys doing all the little Super 8s and all that. And then you're fucking... There's Red Dawn, but you do Platoon, Ferris Bueller, Wall Street, Major League.
Your
brother does The Outsiders, Repo Man, which is a personal favorite, Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, and then you connect with Young Guns. So what the fuck? That has never happened in history. You both were like children, little tiny kids becoming movie stars like that. Anyway, that's why, Emilio, I wanted to...
Emilio, we just want to tell you, you're a fucking stud.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are
he can't hear you because I'm on the phone.
Oh my
he can't hear me.
We tell him we gave him 100 compliments and now he can beat it.
They gave you 100 compliments, and it was all love, and it was about the breadth of our combined films in that time frame. And he said, then we did all that. We were giant movie stars as children.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but we were all
We were all the same. I was a waiter till I was 24. Would you tell him that?
He said he was a waiter till he was 24.
Yeah.
But wasn't in that boat. Anyway.
All right. Emilio, sorry we can't hear you, but nice to see you, buddy.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's great to see him. That's cool.
That's cool. That's a treat. But
seriously, right, well, that was most of your time, Charlie.
That was most of our time. We look better in person. Don't think of this, what you're seeing now. We're pretty good looking, David and I, you know.
I just saw Charlie at the fight.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
You know what? Let me tell you, I'll tell Dana the funniest thing you said is right when I said Michael Irvin had his legs wrapped around your chair talking to someone behind him. Yeah. And you go, I don't think Michael Irvin knows spatial awareness.
I mean, it was an astute observation, wasn't it?
It was perfect because the chairs were this wide.
Right.
They were little plastic chairs. I go, Ted Serranos is in front of you. I was like, Ted, I want to talk to you about the shitty chairs when you get 1 second. It's too late now, but maybe for the next one. And they were all tied together with zip lines.
They were zip tied together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spatial awareness is a funny word, a phrase.
It's a funny term.
What you're doing, Charlie, when it comes to comedy, that was funny. You could have said it in a lot of different ways, but spatial awareness, because we're stand-ups, that's all we do. So
right
basically, well, he's a film star, but yeah, you're a comedian. I was looking at some of your rants. We can go wherever you want, but they're all really fucking funny. That's what really struck me about that era of Tiger Blood and everything. Sure. I mean, they're comedically like,
it's
I'm sure other people
funny on top of everything else.
It's not the rantings of a madman. It's a comedian unleashed,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I've never heard it described as such. That's
Are you on drugs? Yes, I'm on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. That's like rhythmic. And how are you doing? Winning, not just I'm winning.
By the way, these jokes are to like Katie Couric or just the most flat audience. Savannah Guthrie going, you have a lot of problems in your life. You're like, or do I? I'm on coke. And they're like,
you're laying down magic. You didn't even know at the time, because the whole idea, which hilarious. I think in therapy, they should use these quotes because they're funny and they're self-affirming. They're kind of saying, fuck you, get out of my way. We all want to have that feeling sometimes. But I looked at them as the work of a comedian. I mean, they're just really... Are you bipolar? I'm bi-winning. I win here. I win there. Now what? This is funny. They picked a fight with a warlock. I mean, it's just funny. I don't know if anyone is. We're trying to think of stuff that you haven't been asked, because I know this is your second interview around the Book of Sheen. You've done one interview and then this.
And then this.
So we wanted to surprise you. But
of course,
there are things I wanted to talk about. That's one of them. But David, have you have any questions? Go ahead.
Charlie has a quick question.
Charlie, I just want to point something out. If I say you've picked a fight with a warlock, right? That's like that implies that I would have experience with that, or I'd have some kind of perspective or context with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never picked a fight with a warlock.
No,
I think that's kind of just a life rule that you don't. You see a warlock, you don't pick a fight. No,
and we all know. I don't even know specifically what my image is, but warlock kind of means like some sort of weird mythological creature you don't want to go near.
Exactly.
Did you have any alt? Did you have an alternative to warlock, or was that just boom? They picked
it comes out. It was
warlock or bust.
Yeah. He's got the phrases that are very catchy, but no one has ever heard.
Do you own these? No, they're all online. They're so fun.
Charlie, part of it is when you're in these interviews, and I watch these people with a lot of it, unfortunately, is fake concern for you. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, are you okay? And you're like, what do you give a shit? Do you really care? You're like, are you calling the kids every night? And you're like, do you want to babysit my kid? At a certain point, you start to go, are you really, if you really care, I'll tell you these answers. But you're kind of trying to get a pickup piece for your clip for the news or for your show. Mm-hmm. And so you're using me to go, oh, I'm going to be the concerned person, condescendingly asking Charlie. You're like, I have $100 million. Is it horrible right now? And that's kind of a weird place to be in, where they're like, do we envy you or do we feel sorry? Because you had a lot going.
Yeah, no, but when somebody poses those questions, what do you think would have happened if I had said, I'm not, and how do you plan on helping me?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, do you have a guest room? Do you have do you have a stocked fridge?
Is there crudité anywhere that I could have access to?
Right? So
it's like Facebook moms putting on Facebook, I don't like when you showed a picture of your kid in the front seat. You should never. Like, what do you care? Are you really that worried? Anyway, we got so much to talk to Charlie about.
I also want to just insert one thing on winning, and also the way you said winning. Winning. You know, did that influence Trump kind of? Because he really works a word, and he really, you're going to be winning so much, you're going to win, you win. I don't know. There is something about that word. There. Did you win? Yeah, I win. I'm winning. I'm winning more. You know, I don't know. It's just interesting interaction historically, but who knows?
Right, but the book gets into the genesis of that material.
Oh, that's what I'm so happy to hear. The Book of Sheen.
Yeah, thank you. And it's you know, I kind of kept it a secret for years that it wasn't my original material, that it was inserted into my brain sort of as a pep talk, like a couple days earlier by a baseball player from the Giants named Brian Wilson, a guy nicknamed the Beard. Remember the Beard?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was watching a highlight package of his, and I told my pal Tony Todd, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna talk to that dude." And the next day I was on the phone, and he just rolled out all that stuff, the material that turned into slogans and T-shirts and folk songs and everything else, right? And so, yeah, but then I couldn't really say in the middle of that whole you know tsunami that I was cresting on a nuclear surfboard, right? I couldn't say, by the way, all that shit was borrowed. That T-shirt you're wearing, not my stuff. I just had to roll with it. And then about midway through all the chaos, I spoke to him and I said, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I feel like I stole your stuff, and maybe you had plans to use it elsewhere." And he said, "No, it's fine. It's I said, "And you're probably thinking that you got it into the wrong brain and hence the wrong mouth." And he was like, "Well, you know, I never quite saw it going this far, but if someone's going to borrow your material, then spread the love. Why not?"
Well, yeah, because it was the timing and the way you delivered it. I mean, we all have
it's you saying it on all over the place.
It's you saying it in the rhythm. I don't know if he was, because that was your rhythm, right? Of the way, you know.
The winning thing was originally delivered with that inflection.
With the high pitch too? Winning. Yeah. Okay.
I know. And that's why it got, you know, logged in there like that. So his material, but then I think through my filters and you know through whatever else was going on, it became what it did, you know.
Right, because he was being interviewed sometimes by contrarians or whatever, trying to talk to you, and you were just coming back with something so extremely different than anyone would expect. That was part of the comedy of it. I don't know if he had people interviewing him, you know, in that way, but it's interesting.
Yeah. So, also, losing isn't quite as catchy.
It doesn't.
Losing.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
Hey, David, got an announcement to make.
Yes, please.
Prime Big Deal Days is coming on October 7th and 8th.
It's got to be Amazon.
Got to be.
That's where the deals are.
Mm-hmm. You know the rest.
I actually have a bookmark on my computer of Amazon because I did my special for them, of course.
Oh, that's right. You were on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah.
This is their annual sales event from Amazon. Features tons of exclusive deals just for Prime members. I'm one. Mm-hmm.
Prime members is where it's at because you're getting great deals. You get so many great things.
A lot of stuff.
You know, deals up to 40% off on these Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th. So you have to. This is the time to make your moves because this is it.
Right.
Now things I want to get, that's trickier because there's a lot out there that if this is your time to buy, what do you get?
Yes.
What would you be if you had to? I put you on the spot.
I know. It's because you want to think about it. It's 2 days of Prime Big Deal packed with great deals, lots of savings. So I'm thinking for me, I'm going to tip a toe in the water with a subwoofer. I've got a really nice TV.
A subwoofer of all things. Okay.
I know, a subwoofer, and it gives you that bass thing. I've got a great TV in this area, but I need a little oomph. So I'm thinking a subwoofer. I've got my eye on that. What about you, David?
Well, I just put on a light jacket in this room. I know you've talked about light jackets recently.
I desperately need a light jacket.
light jackets are where it's at. Because when I travel, I'm always on the plane, and it's just hard to have a big puffer all the time. It's almost like you need one for the plane, and sometimes I pack the puffer. Shocker.
I know. I
Breaking
just have
news.
this jean jacket, and this is it. And it's kind of warm sometimes, so I need some light ones when I'm on the podcast, so forth and so on.
I think I need a basketball. I think I need some sort of outdoorsy stuff, and maybe something for a barbecue, because I might be starting to get into that.
Right. And the great thing about Amazon Prime is, to state the obvious, the selection is massive. I want to get a new microphone that's even makes me bassier and sexier, and a new stand. I want to get one of those.
I don't want you to be bassier and sexier than me.
I want a bassy, sexy mic, and you can put that in Amazon Prime, and boom, you find it.
Well, listen, I'm always looking for a hot blow dryer. But the thing is, if you can think it, you can almost find it.
I think that's
just such a wide thing.
It is so vast, and I use Amazon Prime constantly to buy stuff. So this is just sort of cool. These 2 days where if you're thinking of stuff, a big ticket item, and a great hairdryer or a travel hairdryer, there's nothing wrong with that. That kind of stuff. A little
travel one.
We need, and maybe a new suitcase too, all those kinds of things.
All right. Well, now's the best time to get a great deal. Shop deals up to 40% off. Don't wait. Start making your list now. Plan some stocking stuffers for Christmas. Shop Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th, exclusively for Prime members. Charlie, here's a dumb question. Okay. Oh, go ahead. You got one question? Go ahead.
He can talk too, though. You can talk whenever you want.
Thank you. Have you and I ever met, Dana?
I don't think we've ever met.
I don't think so either.
No,
I don't think so either. Yeah,
we almost. Fred Wolf was doing some kind of movie, and you were in it. And
Mad Families.
Do it. Yeah, Mad Families.
Yes.
And I was, for a while, I was going to do that, but I just was doing stand up or whatever I was doing. But we would have met then.
Yes.
But
yeah, and David and I had a scene together. Do you remember this?
Oh, that's right. In Mad Families. Yeah. Right.
Do you remember I like rewrote it and I turned it in like 3 pages and I came to you like 5 minutes before we were going to shoot it. I'm like, let's do it this way, man. I was fucking hammered, dude. I was hammered that day. And apologies.
No.
But we did have a nice vibe and a nice rhythm and a nice thing in that scene, didn't we?
Yes. I remember that was Naya Rivera was in that movie. Was Lil Rel in it?
Lil Rel, yeah.
Lil Rel, and yeah, I do remember coming to do one scene, and I had to speak with everybody. I don't remember enough about it, but if we did a collab, I hope it came out all right. Mad Family sort of was, we call it under the radar, because it was on Crackle.
It was on Crackle, yes.
Crackle turned into an app. It was supposed to be like Netflix, and then it kind of wasn't. It sounded like Norton.
Very much
kind of wasn't.
Yeah,
they kind of bailed on it. Charlie, do you remember the story of Tom Hanks try to put a show together with us? And it was after you left 2.5 Men. And Tom Hanks, in all his wisdom, was working on 2.5 Men for years, I guess. Then he came to do Rules of Engagement, another show that I did.
No, Tom was on Spin City.
I think also Spin City, and then he came to us because he had worked with you and he knew you.
Sure.
And then he came to me and said, "What about you and Charlie doing a show?" And I said, "Isn't Charlie a little bit in the doghouse with CBS?" Because it was literally in the middle of all that.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, Les Moonves likes this idea. I was like, he does. Even in the middle of Charlie, I think either you guys were suing each other. There's some pure chaos.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I was like, well, and then it kind of fizzled out, but I thought it would have been fun back then. That was, it would have been kind of a fun pairing.
Yeah. So it would have been awesome. And so it would have been that instead of anger management, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's right. I think that's what you went into next.
Oh yeah.
Was anger management was a 90-10 deal?
It was 10-90. Yeah.
Yeah. Those deals, Dana, where you'd shoot, it was sort of a new formula where you'd shoot 10 episodes, and if they liked it, they'd buy the back 90. So it was very, it was very interesting because you'd gamble, and Charlie gambled and won again. and he got 100 out of it, right?
Yeah, we got to 100, but it didn't catch fire like we were kind of hoping, you know.
Sure.
But it's interesting, Dana. It's literally like a 10 episode pilot.
Yeah.
And so then they take the average number from those episodes that air, and it has to get above a certain threshold. And if that happens, then it activates the next 90.
Yeah,
and
so
you get a
picked
piece
up for
of 90
100 episodes.
You get 100 episodes, and you get back end on it or participation.
Exactly. Yeah, you take a lot less upfront salary, but you have an ownership position that's pretty significant when they work. But this one, because I wasn't ready to go back to work. You know,
was it right after 2.5 Men? So it's hard to like go right to a show.
It was about 6 months after.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, which for me probably felt like a weekend, you know, at the time in the middle of all that. Yeah.
And Dana, you wouldn't like it. It's like 2 in a day. Don't you shoot you shoot faster? Yeah,
and there's no audience, and sometimes you're doing 2 shows a week, or you didn't finish the second show from last week, so you start the week with that. So you're really trying to focus on 3 shows that week, and it's just, and it doesn't. I think a lot of the process suffers. You know?
Not the thing to get you off drugs, that's for sure.
Definitely not. No, certainly
Most
not.
of the cast end up on drugs when they do the 1090 thing.
I'm sure.
Because of the pressure.
I heard of a friend of mine that we all know just did a 1090 deal or 90-10, whatever we call it. And I don't think it kicked in. So it's the gamble. You know, you're betting on yourself. And I think it's a pretty good gamble. I probably would have done one of those because it's something you get some money, but there's a big high reward.
Sure. Wait, your friend did one recently?
Recently. That's what I had heard.
Oh, it's still going on.
Are they still kicking those around?
Wow.
Because I thought they kind of went away.
Was it a multi?
I'm pretty sure it would have been a multi. That's probably the fastest you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'll tell you after, but because I don't want to say anything about his real name because maybe he would feel like, oh, it didn't get picked up. But I'll tell you after. And that's very interesting, though, that the 1090 could still be floating out there when syndication isn't quite as valuable. Obviously, you were sort of one of the last, not the last, but your show 2.5 Men, which is still on. You know, honestly, too much. And it's on probably 12 stations at any given time.
When was the end? I mean, it was
great.
When the syndication thing started.
Big Bang was one of the biggest endings.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Before they had Modern Family.
You know,
when was it on? As far as like when was it like actual broadcast?
When syndication was a really big thing still. You know, because that was Seinfeld in the 90s and so forth. But I guess it got that pop, and you were making a really good salary.
Charlie.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I was trying to negotiate my way out of it. I was waiting for them to say it's, you know, all right, we're done. 7 is plenty. This guy's asking for the moon. We can only afford.
The only guy in America trying to get himself out of like a huge show.
So by asking for so much money to get out, basically.
Yeah, I was calling their bluff.
And then they said yes. Okay.
They said yes. And I was like, because I had a conversation with my manager when I was in rehab when they were trying to negotiate for 8 and 9. And I felt like 7 I'd kind of just reached my limit. I didn't see that we had a lot of stories left to tell, you know, and I'd completely lost a passion. Tons of shit in the background in my personal life that wasn't, you know, I'm not blaming anyone, but it was making the job just more complicated than it had to be, you know. And I told my manager Mark at the time, I said, if I go back, I have a hunch that something is going to go. It's going to go horribly wrong.
The dam's going to break.
Dam's going to break. Yeah, man. Now, do you think that was a self-fulfilling prophecy, or do you think I just knew that that's how the planets were going to be misaligned?
Well, I think you know when you get overwhelmed. I think you know. I mean, everyone says money is the key thing, but when you already have money, you've been rich probably since Apocalypse Now. You've had money, a couple of beans in your jeans.
Oh,
not Apocalypse Now, Platoon.
Red Dawn. He got back end on Red Dawn. It was
that thing's
over.
It's still paying. Yeah.
Red Dawn covers those Honda Accord payments just alone. So you got that, and then you go. Your life is great with money, but it sounds stupid, but it does complicate a lot of things. And you've got so many complications going on. And I think you had a trailer on the set as opposed to a dressing room. Did you have a bus or something? Or
I had a
rumor?
I had a tour bus.
A tour bus. That's what I had heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was jealous when I heard
I had a marathon coach. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Right outside the stage door, probably, right? Like when you walk out and then so you shoot.
It was right there.
You shoot and you go in and wait, and then you come back in and do your scene. So you can do whatever you want in there, obviously, and probably took advantage of that.
2.5, not so much. The stuff before it and the stuff after it, very much so much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
when did you first feel like incredibly wealthy? What was it after Wall Street, or when, or for you, you're in your early 20s. When did you kind of go, holy shit, I'm a millionaire, or I'm close to a millionaire? It's heady stuff, right?
It was probably like in the mid 90s.
Oh, okay.
Mid-90s,
so
yeah. But
when you're about 30. Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a moment early on when I got my first acting paycheck from Grizzly 2, The Predator, or The Revenge, as they retitled
the
it.
movie
whatever.
Grizzly. They did a sequel.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I made $2,000 a week, and I was there for 3. I made $6,000. I didn't care. I didn't know about taxes or any of that shit. And I went to the bank and just took it all in cash. And I walked into a clothing store, and there were these 2 kind of fancy vests, not like a Western vest, but like a camping vest, right?
Okay,
and I couldn't decide on the color. It was like a blue one or a freaking green one. And I was like, I'm going to take them both.
Whoa.
And they were like, $40 each, $60 each, whatever. And just laid out the cash. And literally in that moment, I felt, okay, all right, I'm feeling like a big shot.
Sure.
And
I think you all take both, and then you go, you like that shit? And the lady goes, oh.
There's more where that came from, bitch. Why are you being aggressive? I don't know, bitch. Maybe it's the money. Winning. How
Charlie,
old are you? I'm 13,
hate to interrupt.
Bitch.
I did a Police Academy movie, and I was making not much money, but it was more than I ever had in my life. And I saw some pants in the window in Toronto, and I went in, and the lady goes, those are $60. It was like Pretty Woman. Right. Like, those are for rich people. And I go, I'll take them. And she's like, whoa. Everyone in the store was like, whoa. And I was like, 60s, nothing to me, because I got $100 in per diem. So I bought it. I literally, there's very few times I've felt richer.
We all have that story. I was interested, and I'm sure this in the book, that you'd think, hey, Martin Sheen's his dad. He's growing up like a billionaire, and obviously in the documentary, it's pretty middle class. It's not fancy pants. You and Emilio, you guys didn't have money. Go ahead.
You can see our house in the background of a lot of the Super 8 stuff, and it's not a mansion.
Documentary.
It's not a manicured freaking
No,
estate,
it's very it's funky and cool. Great for a kid. But I was wondering if anyone in that posse, like I'm fascinated by Sean Penn and
Sean. When did you meet
Rob
Sean?
Lowe, or are your friends? Did anyone have a silver spoon, or you're all kind of middle class in a sense?
We were all middle class. Rob's the Lowes came in a little later, and the reason he wasn't excluded intentionally, but the footage that the director Andrew Renzi chose to incorporate was from the younger years. I think by the time I started making those films with Rob and his brother Chad, I think videotape came into play. It was actually, do you remember this thing called it was like a Polaroid brand, but it was a Polaroid video camera. Do you remember this?
I remember early ones. Yeah.
It developed in the player while you were waiting.
Whoa.
And then it played it. It was called Polar Vision, I think. So that's, so we were sort of in the cutting edge of as the technology was improving. But no, the Lowe's dad was still in Ohio, and their stepdad was a psychiatrist. They lived right down the street. Sean's parents, a director, actress. They were married until the day they both died. And so, but nobody was rolling. Nobody was driving a fancy car or fancy duds or picking up the check. So yeah, it was really a cool time to just experience all of that and not have a ton of excess and special effects and bullshit sort of in the way of those memories,
And Super 8 or whatever that was it's just so emotional, And I think it's funny, like every kid who ever got a hold of a camcorder or whatever, they always want to do war scenes or crime scenes and want to do a death scene. Like,
sure.
Like, did you have a good go-to move? Like,
yeah.
The platoon move is a big one. Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, the crucifixion. Yeah,
that's been reenacted all over.
Yeah. I actually, I have that as a sticker in my phone that I send people when I don't know how to respond. It's just Defoe like that. So if you get that, it just means I'm stumped.
Fucking send me that.
It is interesting of like the trifecta. I think for Vietnam War films, you'd say Deer Hunter, Platoon, and Apocalypse Now, and there was a Sheen in two of them, and I think that film really, along with Wall Street and others, really holds up. Platoon has some magic to it.
Thank you. Would you put Full Metal Jacket in there anywhere or no?
I put anything Kubrick does as a given. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would. Okay. That's a good call. Full Metal Jacket, anything Kubrick pretty much, is just magic. Apocalypse Now, brilliant.
Masterpiece.
And Deer Hunter, the Mao, ow, with Christopher Walken, one of the greatest, most intense scenes ever made. So
yeah.
But you're part of that, and it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Charlie, what movies did you turn down that sting the most? And I'll tell you which one.
If it's Opportunity Knocks, I'm so sorry.
If it's Tommy Boy, I'm going to be mad.
I'm so sorry. It's between you and me. No, go ahead.
I turned down White Men Can't Jump.
For what?
Were you going to be Woody or Wesley?
I would have been Woody, yeah. And then, just coincidentally, a bit later on, I think it came after, maybe before, I turned down Indecent Proposal.
Whoa!
So I kept waiting for Woody to send me some flowers and thank me for advancing his career like I did.
Those were big.
I found Indecent Proposal. I'm a huge Redford fan. God rest his soul. And Demi Moore and everything. But I just found the movie very depressing. Woody's character was so that was the only thing I'd say about Dodge. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite movie, although it's skillfully, brilliantly done. I just was ugh.
I couldn't get past the thing that, all right, they did that. He's got the money to lessen the sting a little bit.
Yeah.
And then spends it all on that tchotchke, right?
Right.
Like the little jade elephant or something?
Yeah.
Or am I misremembering that?
No, it was something weird. It was
to show his love was real and it wasn't about money and it wasn't about this. But they still have to stay married and live with that moment.
Right.
With the thing with Redford.
Which is tough.
Right?
Yeah.
Charlie's agent wrote back, Charlie likes it, but wants to tweak the ending.
Pretty much.
And they said we're pretty locked in the ending. He said, that's a pass from Charlie.
That's pretty much how it went down.
Did you see Brokeback Mountain and call your agent? Why the fuck wasn't I up for this?
I have to admit, it's kind of one of those films that's always been on that unseen but need to get to it list, and I think that we all sort of have. So I never saw it, but I hear it's fabulous.
Well, it's a little heartbreaking, but the performances are exceptional.
Sure.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, were you up for that?
I was not up for Goodfellas. No.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid is one that I actually had. I don't know if I could classify it as turning it down or describe it as turning it down. It's it's in the book, it's in the doc, I think, and that I just asked for some time because the advice from my dad was to honor my word with Grizzly. And because I'd already, committed to that. And
fucking Grizzly comes into the picture again.
That fucking bear, that bear ate me twice, right?
Jaws on land.
Yeah,
Grizzly.
So he said, if they wait for you, it's meant to be. If they don't, then it's your reputation, being a man of your word, is going to carry you further than one big movie. I don't know.
From afar, I do have a lot of admiration for your dad. I did meet him, and I did something with him one time. It was just a charity event. We were all doing Shakespeare with Tom Hanks, but that's good. Yeah, well, it was kind of like pretend fun Shakespeare.
Was it in the park? They do that in the summer.
No, it was in Santa Monica in a theater. And
it's a reading, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, but then we all go out on stage and sort of kid around in our reading. I'm doing impressions and things, and then Shakespeare. One thing I was going to ask, because people who've been in brilliant films around brilliant people, you've been across your partner, man or woman, and went, damn, this person is exceptional, or someone who kind of took you back a little bit by just how great they were at this thing called acting.
Sure. Who might those people
who was
have been?
that? I wanted to bring up the elevator scene with your dad and you and Wall Street.
That was one of those moments where you actually you get distracted because you become an audience member, and then wait, but you're in the scene and shit, it's my line. You know what I mean? It's like those moments, and I had some of them with Michael Douglas on the same movie. Definitely had him with Dad. Even though he's only in it, just a little bit. James Spader in Wall Street. I was kind of like going, oh shit. So they're doing it like that now. You know what I'm saying? It was like this whole
cool
thing. And then who else? Oh shit. Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, just
when we had a couple scenes together. He had transitioned out, and I had stepped in. But he wanted to stay close enough to it to bridge the transition, And we did some scenes together, and it was other level talent. I was like,
he's
stout.
I mean, you look at you take a look at Back to the Future. I sound like I'm doing Trump, but that's hard to do, and I know he replaced Eric Stoltz, who probably was great, but to be light, play it dramatic, and ride that whole wave of those movies. Yeah, Michael J. Fox I don't know if he's underrated or appropriately appreciated, but
that's a great question. But it's interesting because there's a thing that I do describe in the book, and it's really there for a reason, not just to celebrate and honor him, but also because that's my last outpost before going on to 2.5. So I was kind of symbolically implying like, okay, I borrowed a little bit from this dude, because there was tons flying off of him, and took it over to that thing. And we saw how that thing went, so.
Well, it's rare. Can you imagine how excited when they get 2.5 Men together and Chuck Lorre and the cast is there, and then you're winning, you're killing it. Like, because it is a skill set, and you started in Spin City, but then, it's hard to find a handsome leading man who can also be very funny, so they must have been, high-fiving at some point behind the scenes, like, just because you're great at this too,
Thank you. But it was just playing the straight man, and when I did it in the Hot Shots, but and some of that
shots, that's right.
Well, when I did it in Hot Shots, I was borrowing, a lot of stuff from Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
And,
who better to borrow?
Well, that was the theme of that. Was sort of the feel.
Love that movie, Hot Shots.
Oh, thank you.
Really fucking funny.
And then I was borrowing stuff from Ted Danson on Cheers for 2.5. But I know he's a sober bartender, and I was a drunk jingle writer. But just as far as the straight man, and you know what I'm saying, he's kind of the anchor, and all the craziness revolves around, orbits his star, his planet.
But you're not putting huge spin and overacting. You're not like Kramer. You know what I mean? You're just saying your lines, and they sell themselves with good writing, and they know how to write for you. And
it's hard to be a funny straight man like Andy Griffith was.
Right. Yeah, but thank you. Especially coming from you guys. Come on, two veterans, and extremely successful veterans. To get comedic compliments from you guys is really badass. So thank you.
Well, don't you and your own personal life, kind of fall in love with talent? It's just kind of fun to watch, and I was, this was maybe a clumsy thing, but I thought of people who get out fast, and it's a rare, but it's kind of that are very talented. Like, I'm talking about Woody Allen, and I'm talking about the Beatles, Bob Dylan, by 21, 22, Brando, and you were kind of in that group in a way. I'm just saying loosely because you came out so good and so showed so much talent. But who musically, who's your North Star? Like when you the canon of rock and roll, are you Pink Floyd, or are you Neil Young, or
Led Zeppelin?
Oh, I just watched that documentary on the plane. Becoming Zeppelin.
They were pretty good.
Yeah. I think they got a shot.
That's probably legendary frontman Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. What'd you think of the doc? Did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. I always like when it gets to more. I don't always like the beginning. I like to know just to where I knew them, and but it was very interesting and everyone loved it. So I watched on the plane. It was perfect.
I ate it up very quickly and loved it.
Yeah, it's excellent.
What was your thoughts?
I love playing.
I would have liked that they got to if they'd taken it to Zepp 4.
Right, it could have gone longer.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's the one.
Because they only started to get to the stuff I really liked, and I was like, "Wait, is that it? It's over?" I was like, "Go, go, 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 go!"
Yeah.
Oh, we're landing.
That's true. It was interesting for a doc to show them. I guess it was on a TV show or somewhere, but you showed them really jam for like 12 minutes or something. Like really go song to song.
I think they showed one full song. I think it was Rock and Roll. They showed the whole
you're right. Yeah.
And I was like, this is the one. It's probably, as good as any. Question, Charlie. You collect things, and I'm sort of been in your orbit. We're roughly the same age, roughly in showbiz. You're obviously doing a ton of stuff, way more. But in a weird way, I remember I was at an Elvis auction at Butterfield in the old days. I sometimes buy collectibles and shit. And I think you're in maybe baseball cards. I've always heard that. And was there an Elvis green Amex you bought ever? Because I think I had my eye on one of those.
Wow!
And they said I think Charlie Sheen got it.
I love that. That's the kind of rumor that you want to embrace.
That's a cool one.
That's
cool. Because then when the bill comes, everybody's kind of waiting for you to drop that thing. Right?
Because you can buy.
That's too cool.
Dana, I bought an Elvis set list. Like he wrote on some Michigan Hilton. He was writing all the songs like "Love Me Tender," his handwriting and shit.
Oh wow!
And so I bought that, and I bought a gun he had, and I bought something else. But I wanted this Amex. But it was too rich for my blood. And
what did it? Because I didn't buy it. I never. This is the first I'm hearing about this Elvis auction. It sounds awesome. How much did the Amex go for?
$50,000.
$50,000.
And that was 20 years ago.
Wow.
Because I was at the auction and Joey Esposito was there, so they were like authenticating stuff. And I bought a watch, and I don't think anything left from that because I lost the set list. But I bought stuff before, and I thought, I think Charlie does maybe baseball cards or maybe baseballs. I don't know, but
I got.
Are you in and out of that biz or not?
I've sold everything.
Okay.
And
I should have come to that garage sale. Jesus Christ.
What did you sell that was a little bit
I had something like from every era. I had a lot of Babe Ruth stuff. I had that famous long white overcoat that he's seen in tons of photos.
Oh, had the coat? Oh,
you had the coat?
Yeah, I had the coat. I mean, there's probably more than one, but I had one of three probably. I had a lot of jerseys, had a lot of caps, a lot of hats, some great bats. But there was a turning point moment where, because I had these cool cases built at my house up in Malibu Lake years ago, and I had been to the Hall of Fame for the first time. And I thought this is back then, like in 1991. And I thought how they had set it up was a bit shoddy. I thought I could see like a moth, like down in the corner behind the glass. And I was like, what are they doing? Right. Right. Yeah. And so I was inspired by it. I wanted my cases in my house to be like nicer than the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Right.
Yeah.
And so we brought in the right people and, and they delivered that. Right. But Then a couple years later, I was looking for something and I opened a dresser drawer up in my bedroom and there's a 1941 Ted Williams road jersey, like just folded nicely and in the drawer. Wow. And I had that, it's the year he hit, 406 and all that. And I had that moment of, if I don't have room on a wall for this, like this is the last time that anybody ever did the thing he did while wearing that, then I need to recirculate a lot of these artifacts and antiques and just let others enjoy them. And then I Leland's put together an auction, and it was all sent back out into the world.
Wow.
Interesting.
And some cards. Or not a Honus Wagner card, or was it my mistake?
I had one called like the 5 pinhole card. Because they're just so graded so anally, and they have to describe everything. And I guess some kid back in the 1920s was sticking it up on a board or somewhere in his bedroom, and
there was holes in it.
Yeah, but don't you think you'd at least just keep using the same hole? Why did he have to make 5 holes?
No, those dipshits, they're ruining cards for the future. I don't know.
They really were. So,
but I'm sure that went a little pricey.
It was up there, but not nearly when that Wagner card really got everyone's attention. When Gretzky partnered with was it McNall, guy named McNall, and they paid what'd they pay for that? Like $500,000. Everybody was like, "This is out of control." And now you think about that, that's like chump change, right?
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff it's one of the few niche places that just keeps going up faster than stocks. It's just bought
when people have a passion and
Kobe
they collect their passion. Cars. And even, Jay Leno probably has made more money, or, he won't sell his cars.
No.
But he probably, if he did, he'd make more money off his passion than even his
easily
comedic career. Sure. It's very, I have a friend who collects antique bottles, and his collection is worth $3 million. He's just dug them out of the San Francisco Bay because it was all landfill. And you go in there at night, I went with him, and you dig where they're excavating a building, where you're digging down a hole, and then you see this little 2 inches of ash, and that's 1906, the earthquake and the fire. Then you go further, and you're pulling out shoes and stuff. Once in a while, you get a bottle, that's worth $50,000. So it's interesting to
further, and you're in China.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask Charlie about, because I was seeing, Cooperstown has this, I want to have more, and we all have this 10-year-old boy inside of us, and sometimes it's necessary to have success, is just to have a fair play, competitive instinct. They do that. I mean, Nicolas Cage was so competitive. I did a movie with him, and we just made fun of the competition, because Kurt Russell was in Tombstone, and he had a line in the movie, "You're going to throw down, boy," if you remember the movie, to Billy Bob Thornton, who weighed 220 pounds. So when Nicholas thought I did something good, you really threw down today,
Wow. Wow. What film did you guys do?
The films I do aren't even on video, and they're banned from Earth. No, it was Trapped in Paradise.
Oh,
we wandered around in the snow. We fell around in the snow, me, him, and John Lovitz for 3 months, and somehow they put something together.
Okay.
But Nicholas was a blast. And
he is, isn't he?
One of the funniest, brightest guys I've ever met.
Was he one of your Malibu guys up there?
Nicolas Cage, your relationship with him?
Yeah.
No, he's not a Malibu guy. He was a town guy, and a Bay Area guy, sort of back and forth. I'm sorry, what was the last question?
Well, I just wanted to know about your relationship with him, because you guys kind of hung out. I know there was, extracurricular activities, but just as a person, I found him very charming, and
he's one of my favorite people. We don't see each other enough, but when we do, it's quite special. Because you talk about his intellect, and then you wrap that inside of this outlandish sense of humor, just that is rooted somewhere outside of what us mortals can grasp, and it's an insane and beautiful mashup.
He never saw acting as having to be accurate. He just found that you could do whatever you wanted with it. So he's doing a scene. It's this cheesy movie, and he's supposed to come in and kind of ask for forgiveness for this girlfriend or something like that. And he goes, I'm going to do Daniel Day-Lewis in the name of my father in this take. So he comes, all of a sudden he comes out screaming, falls to his knees. Why? And I was like, you can do that? I mean, he's a unicorn. I mean,
there's no rules with him. There's no rules with him. And to have that kind of courage inside those spaces is it's to be marveled at, you know?
Yeah.
I got something. When was Tom Cruise in any of your early movies? Did you know he was going to be a big deal?
We knew, pretty soon, because when Sean's younger brother, Chris Penn, dropped out of high school and bum rushed that set of Taps on the other side of the country, he came back talking about this guy named Tom Cruise.
Oh.
In my mind, I added a Z, and I thought he was Latin. I thought he was a Mexican or a Spaniard or something, right? And then when I met him, I was like, "Oh, you're from Oklahoma," and then he smiles, and then you start to engage his personality and his intellect, and you're like, "Yeah, this guy, there's something going on here for sure." But Emilio and he became really tight because they were auditioning for The Outsiders at the same time and helping each other prepare for their auditions, you know, and then they both got it, the different roles. And they've been great friends ever since. So I was younger than them, so I was kind of like tagging along. But anytime I've, seen Tom over the years, wherever, he's awesome. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's just become these last few years, it's like you sort of just stand back in awe, because I'm basically a baby. I maybe hung from a wire once, but, he's hanging on to airplanes, and I know I'm strapped down. He's holding his breath for 6 minutes. I mean, you can't even, what the fuck? So you have to see the movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But do you think at some point he's going to want to get back to like a Magnolia?
Right.
Oh,
which was
a work of art,
movie,
and he was spectacular in that.
Yeah,
what you gotta respect the cock? I'm sorry, was that it?
That was it. That's it. Okay. Yeah, respect the cock. Yeah.
He said it better than I did, but yeah. He's a force of nature.
It's funny because Sandler has the ability to go from a Paul Thomas Anderson movie to a big, broad Happy Gilmore, and he goes back Noah Baumbach, then he goes back to a broad. And I think Tom obviously can do anything he wants, but you're right. These are important, but Mission Impossible to Top Gun, it's huge, huge blockbusters, but would he want to go small again? Would he want to go, he could get an Oscar. He's great.
I think if Christopher Nolan called him or somebody like that, he might get his attention.
I think so. I mean, he does want to make movies that fill theaters and give people that experience that connects them back to their childhood. That's
he's the savior of that. I think he's made himself the guy, the spokesman.
He and the filmmakers know this, but it was in Roman Holiday a long time ago. But basically nonverbal with music. So the end of Top Gun, you have a 6-minute montage of the end of the movie of people tearing up, no real dialogue and saluting, and we're alive and we did this. And I've seen other films do that, F1 and where there's this silent movie added onto the movie, and it's very affecting. That 3 or 4 minutes where you're seeing them in tears, looking at each other, and it's a lot of the blockbusters are using that now. So it's just kind of interesting to me. But Top Gun really got me emotionally because, I hear Hans Zimmerman, I hear just the music, it gets me emotional.
Sure.
And then you see Tom Cruise is really good at hugging someone, coming back. He's got this look and the teary eyes, and it gets you.
Yeah. He insists that we experience that moment with him.
Right.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Now, is that the first Top Gun that you're referring to, or is this
the second one?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Which came out of nowhere and was an in-movie theater big hit when the industry really needed it, obviously. But
they tried to stream it, didn't they?
Whoa!
Yes.
Not on his watch.
Was like, no.
He
stuck to his young gun. Speaking of that, in 1988.
Thank God they didn't wait 30 years between Grizzlies.
Right? I mean, that would have been a disaster,
Shit, I think we're out of time, Dana. I think we got to. I think we had to wrap with Charlie Sheen. Any wrap-up questions for this guy?
Not really. I think the book is the Book of Sheen, the documentary. I mean, we consciously, we talked about it. We didn't want to, we know you've done a lot of press. So we wanted to make this lighter and more fun, and wanted to pick your brain about relationships with your dad or whoever.
Sure.
So,
no, this has been incredibly refreshing.
Good. That's what we wanted.
No, thank you. And
Yeah.
if I'd like to believe that I get invited back.
Yes.
And that'd be amazing. And then we can do it and be in the same room. Are you feeling okay with the thing that happened? Or
Oh yeah, I'm totally.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just fine.
Okay.
Just want to get didn't want to give you anything, but yeah,
no. And thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But I do have a question for David.
Yes.
Good.
And there was a weird moment during the fight, right? And as soon as I'm, and Michael Irvin's, he's a lovely man.
Yeah.
He's just beautifully all over the place. But what a good dude. But when I look over and I see Dave's name on the chair next to me, I was like, okay, all right. I'm going to have some backup. Reinforcements coming in. I don't know why I thought that, right?
Yeah.
So he sits down and I'm like, did they plan this knowing that this was already scheduled, right?
Right.
So they finally cut the chairs apart. Everybody's having a great time. And I look up and I see this giant rig, like where they had speakers and the lights and the thing. It weighs 400,000 tons, right? And I said to Dave, I said, if that breaks loose, we're clearly in the crush zone, right? And I said, are you cool if I'm the last guy on this planet that you interact with? And he took a beat. And said something to the effect of, I think I'm okay with that. And I said, good, because I'm okay with it being you too, And so
we really bonded there.
I felt like we bonded there, man.
Yeah.
And clearly it didn't fall, but is that weird?
But I like that you put that in my head. I think I was taking a beat because I was thinking, does he know something I don't? Is this going to fall? And then Marshawn Lynch sat in front of me and blocked 110% of the fight.
Oh my gosh.
His head is this big. I go,
wow.
Wait, is the fight over? I go to watch on the screen now. Oh, Charlie.
I do that all the time. Can this fall, or is this
also
flood?
Dana? They show Michael J. Fox on the screen, and I go, for no reason. You can tell he's still mad at you, Charlie.
That was funny. Yeah.
Based on nothing.
That was excellent.
It was fun to be at the fight with Charlie.
Laughing because I want you. Do you mind doing Michael J. Fox Casualties of War just for Charlie?
Oh, me?
If you don't
mind. Remember that movie, Charlie?
I do. I
love Michael J. Fox, and he
Sean
just
Penn is grabbing this.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, Sarge, hey, you got to give me a minute on this here, Sarge." Oh, Christ, she's just a farm girl, Sarge. What are we doing here exactly?
That's amazing.
It gets me every time. It's such an obscure, specific impression.
Michael J. Fox in that movie, I was like, and Clarky was John C. Reilly, and Sean Penn's like, fucking Clarky, throw her down and take her clothes off. I'm like,
hey, we got to get these VC gooks.
These VC gook whore. I'm like, what is this movie? I thought it was a fun comedy because it was Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I'm like, this movie took a dark turn and never turned back. Yeah, they're whatever. That's a fun.
Sean was hard on him during that film, wasn't he?
Oh, on Michael J. Fox.
Method acting. In a way.
I had heard about that. Yeah.
Apparently, he was just none of the didn't want to
because he's like you're a sitcom guy, kind of.
With that, maybe that, but also just the character. Just staying in character. Yeah, resentment.
Yeah. The alpha. Yeah.
Do you know I've only worked with Sean on 2.5 Men. I've only worked with Sean in a comedic setting. He was brilliant. It was our first episode, second season, and he's in a men's group, and it was Elvis Costello and Harry Dean Stanton and me and Bobby Cooper. It was awesome. But isn't that a trip that the first time he and I actually do it professionally?
I thought he was one of your old movies.
No, just the stuff you see in the doc where he shoots me in my own backyard and then stuffs me in the refrigerator for Emilio to discover later on. It was nuts,
Yeah.
He's grown
He can be very funny, though. I think he went on Friends and was very funny.
Such an interesting character. Well, SNL, and he did the read-through. I go, wow, this guy